Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So if you're a new player jumping into a massive online sandbox game, you absolutely know that overwhelming feeling of, well, sandbox paralysis. You know the feeling, right? You log in, the world is absolutely huge, the possibilities are literally endless, and you immediately think, what on earth do I do now? Well, you're in the exact right place. Today, we're breaking down a comprehensive 7-day, totally low-pressure exposure roadmap for your very first week in Immortal Realm. We're going to take that massive, overwhelming world and turn it into a fascinating, completely manageable journey.
Okay, let's dive right into the agenda for this explainer. We're breaking this down into a few logical phases. Welcome to Immortal Realm, building your foundation, society and the economy, facing the world, choosing your path, and we'll wrap up with avoiding common mistakes.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Welcome to Immortal Realm, and our low-pressure roadmap.
Now, our ultimate goal for your first week is actually incredibly simple. We want you to touch every major system in the game without feeling an ounce of pressure to master a single one of them. You're basically bridging the gap from I just logged in and I'm lost to okay, I actually understand how this shard operates. And this roadmap brilliantly illustrates exactly how we do that. Notice the steady incline of complexity here. Day 1 is all about New Haven, getting your basic verbs down and scraping together your first 500 gold. By days 2 and 3, you're training skills and trying out crafting. Days 4 and 5, that pushes you into the city to observe the civic systems and the market. Day 6 introduces group content, and finally, Day 7 is where you actually make a commitment. It is a beautifully structured slope that just organically ramps up your knowledge day by day.
But before we get into the nitty-gritty daily details, you've got to remember this guiding philosophy. Nothing breaks, skip ahead, stay behind, or rearrange the order. I want to directly reassure you right now, this guide is completely flexible. You are not punching a clock here. If you want to spend 3 days straight literally just chopping wood because you find it relaxing, do it. This plan is entirely exposure-driven. What really matters is that you simply see each system, not that you follow my exact schedule. Moving right along to Section 2, Building Your Foundation. This covers days 1 to 3, focusing on your personal skills. So, assuming you finished up the New Haven welcome quest with Guide Aaron, popped open your bank and pocketed that crucial first 500 gold, Day 2 shifts your focus to training a main skill. Maybe you want to do swordsmanship for melee, magery for some ranged utility, or even animal taming for pets. The loop is just 4 super simple steps. Step 1, find the relevant trainer NPC right there in New Haven. Step 2, use your gold to buy your training up to a skill level of 30. Step 3, practice on starter mobs or tools. And Step 4, just bank what you don't need. The absolute secret here is that you're aiming for a skill threshold of 50, definitely not Grandmaster. You just want to open up the next tier of content. Then on Day 3, I highly recommend you try your hand at crafting or gathering, even if you have zero plans to be a crafter long term. Grab a pickaxe and mine some iron ingots, or grab a pole and start fishing. Actually, fishing opens up an amazing fish collection minigame later on. You don't have to become some master artisan chopping wood for 10 hours straight today. It's purely just to gather data on your own playstyle to see if, hey, maybe this actually fits your long-term vision.
Which brings us to Section 3, Society and the Economy. This covers days 4 and 5, focusing on public society. On Day 4, you'll step through the Moon Gate, and bam, you're in the bustling city of Britain. Your goal here? Literally just to observe the public society. You'll want to visit places like the College of Chirurgeons Hall, maybe read their public roster, or watch a medical treatment happen. Go check out the High Ledger Hall and take a look at its public records wall. Keep in mind, you absolutely do not have to join anything today. Just walking through these halls and people watching shows you firsthand how seriously this shard takes its civic layer. It's truly a living, breathing society.
And what's really fascinating about ambient civic interaction is just how seamless it is in practice. Take the Velvet Hands Alms loop at the West Britain Bank, for example. All you have to do is stand near this NPC named Ragged Jada. There's a 2-second proximity tick, and a menu will automatically pop up asking if you want to beg or give alms. Drop a coin or sit down to beg. Just by standing there, you trigger the order's most public verb without any pressure, no scheduled events, nothing. It's just a fantastic piece of game design.
Day 5 introduces you to the actual lifeblood of the shard, the economy. The game offers these amazing live website tools, specifically the /market and /auctions pages. You can use these to see actual, real-time live shard transactions. Jump in-game, browse player vendors, note the going prices, and check the auction house for high-value items. Seriously, if you crafted anything back on Day 3, try listing it. There is literally nothing quite like making your first sale.
This day proves the economy isn't just background noise, it's real, and these tools genuinely empower you to get in there and participate.
Next up, Section 4, Facing the World. This is Day 6, focusing on group action.
On Day 6, it's finally time to dip your toes into the dangerous, wider world. You basically have two great options here. First, starter dungeons, which you can explore solo or with a friend, just to test your combat skills. And yet, maybe die to a starter mob once or twice, it happens. Or you can do convoys. For convoys, you just wait for a global broadcast in a major city, walk right over, escort the group, and get paid. Convoys are a brilliant way to get a perfectly safe taste of group content without even needing to awkwardly form a formal party. Both of these options give you a thrilling sense of the game's broader combat dynamics.
And that brings us to Section 5, Choosing Your Path. Day 7, The Commitment.
By now, your wide exposure across all these different game systems leads to a very natural, very confident choice. You've touched it all, right? So what did you actually enjoy most? There are several common long-term paths you can choose from. You might lean heavy into player versus environment combat and dungeon crawling. Or maybe you love the market and want to focus on crafting and the economy. Or perhaps those city institutions caught your eye and civic engagement is your calling. There's also some deep quest content and massively rewarding collection arcs, like that frog collection. Most veteran players just pick one primary focus from this list and treat everything else as a fun little bonus.
Finally, let's wrap up with Section 6, Avoiding Common Mistakes. Basically, what not to do in Week 1.
Look, how do we actually make sure you survive to Week 2 without burning out? By avoiding the single most common error, trying to grandmaster a skill in Week 1. It's a huge mistake, it's not going to happen, and you will absolutely drive yourself crazy trying to do it. The reality is that you should just train your skill to level 50 or 60. That is the magic number to open up the next content tier. Just expand later on when you have way more resources.
Let's quickly fire off a few other major pitfalls you want to avoid. First off, do not buy expensive gear before knowing your build. Your playstyle will probably shift in Week 2, so just stick to disposable gear for now. Second, please don't join a guild on Day 3. Just wait until you understand the community a bit better and find a guild that truly fits how you play. Third, do not ignore those market and auction website tools. They are incredibly useful right from Week 1. And finally, don't avoid the civic orders just because they quote-unquote sound serious. Go visit them. They are surprisingly accessible and add massive flavor to the game.
So, we've covered the basics, the economy, the dangers of the open world, and the big mistakes to avoid. Now the sandbox is entirely yours. Which path are you going to choose? Will you be a ridiculously wealthy merchant, a dungeon-diving warrior, or a pillar of civic society? You're now fully oriented, empowered with the right knowledge, and totally ready to download the game to forge your destiny. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you in the realm.